Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. So behind me is a 2023 Cimarron Showstar LX. This is a 10-pin. This is a really well-equipped trailer. An LX model itself is extremely well optioned, but we always go in and add a few extra things just based on customer feedback, how we built custom trailers, going out to the shows and seeing how you're actually using the trailers. But if you're in the market for a 10-pin, this is a very well-equipped trailer. We're going to walk you through it. Before we do, we're going to take a look at the drawing, because there's a couple things that we've done to these trailers over the last couple years, again, you know, based on the LX and going optioning up from here. On an LX, you're going to be 8 wide. That is standard on an LX model. This one here is 26.6 on the floor. We added a little bit of length to this trailer. We did a little over a 6-foot front tack room on this one. We understand the need and the want for a little bit more storage, especially if you're showing off these trailers, which a lot of shows have gone that way. That's the one thing that, you know, people always say we're never going to get back to complete normal based on COVID. We're seeing a lot more actual shows that are going to show off the trailer itself, which has been extremely well just accepted out there in the industry. So now we need these trailers to function a little bit more for you to actually show off the trailer itself. So stick with me here. We're going to walk you through all the options, the standard, the extra stuff that we did to it, just to make this trailer extremely well equipped. We kind of do multiple versions of this trailer. We've got another one that's about ready to finish. It's going to have air ride suspension. We've got another one here that's got a sofa in the front, more of a comfort package is what it's called, with an air conditioner. So there's a lot of these things that we can do and want to provide to you, the customer, multiple options on these trailers. And then of course, if you have a little bit of time, we can completely customize whatever you want on these trailers themselves. Very first thing though, underneath on the LXs, you will get the standard electric over hydraulic jack on this one. Now, the one thing that we like about this equalizer system versus other systems is, one, it's push button, up and down it goes. So if you got some younger kids that are helping you, that are, you know, you're actually taking to shows themselves, helping you get hooked onto this, they can back up instead of having to stop, hand crank it. They literally can reach up and hit a button and actually drop it on the truck themselves. But this does have a manual override as well. So in emergency situations, you can get it on or off the truck itself. Spare tires located to the left. We're going to talk more about that, but you're going to get that aluminum wheel that's going to match the rest on the trailer itself. We'll talk more about those wheels and tires in a little bit. Now, right here, we've got our battery box that's going to house our battery for this hydraulic jack that we have sitting here. Now, over the last couple years, a standard option is now the battery disconnect. So if we accidentally leave a stall light on, front tack light on, we're literally not going to sit here and drain this battery. So when we come to hook up, it's going to be dead. When you park this trailer, you reach in here and you turn that on the off position. It kills all power to the trailer itself. So if we did get in that situation where we leave a light on, we're not going to drain this battery. So when we go to hook up, we're not dealing with that. Now, you do need to turn it, to the on position, obviously to hook on, unhook, but when you're driving, because your truck's going to work as a trickle charger to that battery. So put it on the on position, and as your truck will do, you know, again, will continue to charge that battery as you're actually driving itself. There is room in there as well for a second battery if you ever wanted to go that route. Now, we've got these brackets coming off the bottom here. This is for a portable generator, so you can set your portable generator on here, strap it down. It's got a place to live. It's not taking up room in your tack area. It's not in the back of the truck. It's easy to actually fuel up from right here, but then we can fire up this portable generator. And it's kind of hard to see, but between the battery box and the side, up underneath there is going to be a plug-in. That plug-in is actually going to be for a 30 amp cord. So we've got a power package on this trailer that we'll show you when we get to the inside. But you can actually plug it in, run it right up there. Again, it's kind of convenient, same area. But that's great to be able to put that generator right there and have a place for it to live. Now, Cimarrons have a little bit longer nose than a lot of the competitors out there. A lot of them will run a 7.6, 7.8 nose. Cimarron standard is 8.2. So when you're hooked onto a long box truck and you drop the tailgate, you can actually walk through here and have some space. So by having these brackets, having that longer nose itself on this trailer, you know, it's not like we're gonna have to worry about backing into this, you know, not being able to walk through. You will be able to walk through this area, which is really, really nice. The other thing when we're talking about these noses is let's talk about a gooseneck drop wall height. So if you've noticed over the last couple of years, Fords and Dodges have had a taller truck bed just out there in general. And now with the new GM body style, they've gone up as well, about 2.5 inches. So one thing that we were running into is the issue of making trailers run level, so we have equal weight distribution on those two axles, but also having bed clearance. A little project for you, or a little homework assignment is watch newer trucks on older trailers running down the road. You will notice that they are either running it on the back axle, nosed way up to get bed clearance, or they're running level with hardly any bed clearance at all. So back in the day, it used to be a 47-inch gooseneck drop wall. Well, then in the early 2000s, when newer truck bodies came out, they went to a 50. So over the last couple of years, we've been on these standard using trailers. We'll make this a 53-inch gooseneck drop height. Now it does eat into the gooseneck area a little bit, but again, 3 inches is all we cut in there. But by doing that, it allows us to make sure this trailer is running level and then having bed clearance. Now we can adjust that coupler how it needs to be, again, to have that. What I really want to see is I want to be able to put my pinky on the truck bed itself and either just graze this bottom rail or not touch it at all. That's ideal. I will never say that you'll never ding up a truck bed. There's always a chance of it happening, but now we've drastically reduced those chances. 6 inches, 6.5 inches is adequate on these using trailers, but again, I want to see about 8 and 8.5 if I could, because that's the best. And again, reducing those opportunities to really ding up that bed itself. You will notice this bottom rail, top rail, this is the wraparound nose style here. That's standard on these LXs. It's a real sleek look to the trailer itself. With it being an LX, you're gonna get the polished extrusion. So those bottom rails and top rails will be polished along with the extrusion when we look down the trailer here in a few minutes. But like I mentioned, bigger tack rooms. So used to be a 4-foot, then it kind of went to a 5-foot. Now we're doing 6s, we're even doing larger on that. Some of them even have mid tack. So there's a lot of different conversion or versions out there of these front tack rooms. Obviously you're building something. If you want it 6 foot 3 inches, 6 foot 6 inches, as long as we work in 3-inch increments, we can make it whatever you want. But on this one here, we did a little over 6 foot, nice big wide door coming in here. We understand you're going to be carrying things, a step coming in and out, making transitions easier, especially for younger kids, you know, carrying buckets, carrying feed, carrying show supplies. It makes a big difference between this bottom rail of the frame of the door itself to the ground. So it kind of cuts that step in half. Again, making a lot easier transition coming into this front tack room. Now, as you come in, you're going to notice on the floor, the gooseneck drop wall, on the deck, this gray rubber. It's got kind of that diamond kind of plate look to it. It's got a lot of grip. It's really easy to clean. We actually built one for a customer on the cattle side, and then started incorporating it a little bit more. And now we're starting to do it on some of the horse trailers as well. Rather than the rubber that still has the potential of things getting underneath it, and then the carpet that can stain, hold that smell over time. This really here, we're really excited about this and had great customer feedback on it already. They seal the sides, so again, you can just kind of sweep. The big thing that they just didn't want to have to crawl up in the nose and try to vacuum out the carpet. That's what their thing was, and they didn't want to go with the rubber. So that's how it kind of came about. But again, a fantastic flooring and on the drop wall, on the deck itself, again, really easy to clean. It still has grip to it, but it's a really great option, again, that we're incorporating in kind of throughout a lot of different trailers themselves. You have a 4-inch tube that goes across. This is removable, but this will hold some items up in that nose if they're shifting. With it being 8 wide, 8 too long, there's a lot of storage space up in these noses of these Cimarrons. Based on that, we put a light up in the nose. Behind it is going to be our breaker box. There's that 30 amp breaker box that I showed you, that plug from the outside. So it comes right into that. That box ahead of it, it's a converter. So when you're plugged into power, whether it's that portable generator or plugged into another power source, it will charge that 12 volt battery that we saw in that aluminum box. It has to have that converter for that to happen there. Over here on the driver's side wall itself, we're gonna have a shelf with a clothes rod underneath it. Great to bring show clothes in here, hang them up, have a place for them to kind of stay, be able to throw some items up in this actual shelf itself. It's got a lip, it's got a rubber mat on it, so things won't shift really easily. But really fantastic option. We can add shelves to trailers a lot of times after the fact. We might just have to have it built, so we'll need a little bit of lead time. But it's great to be able to have that stuff where it lives, come in here, have kids change, get ready to go to the show ring. And then also behind me now on this partition wall, we've got 2 rows of airliner track and then some big utility hooks up here. So hanging hoses, hanging cords. There's different attachments for this airliner track. A lot of times you can just go on to Amazon and buy really, a large quantity of those. A lot of times people like the hooks just so you can move them around, and then your carabiners on your actual feeders can clip on there. But again, having a little bit more tack space in here, if you're showing off this trailer, you can hop in, prep feed. Again, kids can change, get ready to go to the show ring. And then you've actually got the pass-through door that goes into the stall area. So again, prepping for the show, going between this stall area and into the front tack room is definitely a nice feature there. There's also brackets that Cimarron builds for this airliner track that'll house some of your additive buckets. So feed buckets, those type of items there. So a lot of these things can be, added after the fact. Just because it's sitting here on the lot doesn't mean we can't change some things. In fact, one thing directly above us here, up on the roof, it is framed for an AC unit right here in the front tack room. So if you wanted to add an air conditioner, the framework's already done. We've already got the power. It's really easy to go ahead and cut the hole out for the footprint to drop that in there and then run power to it. So again, a lot of items could be added after the fact. Even though it's not exactly what you want, a lot of times we can do those type of items afterwards and get it exactly how you want. Then on the drop wall, you have a boot box here. This is an 18-inch, so if you're dropping buckets and those type of items, we found with the framework on the 12s, it's just a little bit too tight, so these 18s really work really well. There's that cord in there, but this works as a great bench. Again, if you're showing off of it, relaxing, having a bite to eat, jumping up into the nose, a nice little step, but then again, having more spaces for things to live and to keep things organized as you are going to the show. So again, a really well-equipped front tack room on this one. Again, we went a little bit bigger. That is one thing we've just noticed over the last couple of years is bigger tacks, more options as far as those are concerned. We put a deadbolt combo on this tack door. That way, if you don't lock it, the actual latch with your key, you can just lock it with this combo lock. Send somebody to the trailer, they can punch the code in. They don't have to have keys to it. And then there's the fold-up step on a gas shock, so really easy flipping that up and down itself. You'll notice we went with the black sheeting on this one. On these Showstars, black, charcoal, metallic, those are probably the most popular colors themselves. They can do some custom. There's a lot of different versions out there. White is standard, and then from there you can jump up. I mean, we can do completely, polished stainless sheeting. We actually had a show cattle trailer on display at National Western this year that had that. It was a sharp looking trailer, but we can do a lot of different configurations and versions of this trailer itself. Now, on a Cimarron, you're all aluminum construction. Best floor in the market. We'll talk a little bit more about that. You have an 8-year structure warranty and 3-year bumper to hitch warranty as far as hardware itself. On our wheels and tires, we're gonna have a 1-year no questions asked warranty on those. If you hit road debris, have a blowout, catch a nail that can't be patched, they'll send you a new tire or reimburse you with you being the first owner and having the 1-year warranty on that itself. Now let's look at a couple more options. On that LX, you're gonna get those drop windows, that's standard. We're gonna get the side ramp, so you can go into the stall area. If you notice, we've got the gates over the side ramp, and obviously we can see through the trailer, looking at another Cimarron on that other side over there. But we've got a gate on that door as well. So if you're showing off of this, you can open this up, create a lot of airflow. This is a really good way to think about this. Getting a cross breeze through that trailer makes life and your animals feel so much more comfortable. Think about a real hot day out here on this asphalt, 95 degrees, no wind, it's miserable, it's stuffy. If you get a little breeze kicks up, you feel better about life. That's no different than on these trailers. So by the ability to drop this ramp, open that side door, open these drop windows, the fold down lower slat as well, getting more airflow through there is going to keep our animals more comfortable. So again, drops are standard. We went in and then opted for the aluminum fold down slat. So you get a little bit bigger air gap down low, real easy to use. Fold up, fold down. They're on the gas shocks as well. I really like this feature because, you know, especially here in Colorado, you know, we'll wake up some mornings and it'll be chilly. I mean, we'll have, you know, fresh ice on the tanks, but it'll warm up throughout the day. I mean, we'll get up to 60, 65. So you leave early in the morning, it's cold, putting those projects in here, you know, you want to seal it up, but then as the day starts warming up and you need to jump out, instead of pulling plexiglass out, that's going to take more time, and then we got to take it out and figure out where to put it. The best thing to do is store it properly. I know in a lot of times people just throw them up in the neck, but with these, it's real easy to just hop out, open and close, depending on which direction you want to go. So it's really easy, really functional from that standpoint. It's a bigger air gap as well on the lower rather than the plexiglass when you have this fold down. So again, getting more airflow down low, especially for these smaller projects, that's where we need it to get to. So that's a nice feature to have there. Now, on those wheels and tires, here's aluminum wheels. We did black with silver. It works really well with this color combination of the trailer. Goodyear tires, 10 plies on this one. You're gonna notice the green tab. These are nitrogen filled tires. So nitrogen filled tires, there's a misconception. People think you can't put air to them. Yes, you can. If for some reason you need to put air to a tire, not a problem, go ahead and do it. Now you're not getting the benefits of nitrogen at that point, but we might have something else going on. Maybe we have a slow leak, maybe we caught a nail, something like that. But the nitrogen filled tires, the big benefit there is we're not having that big fluctuations in PSI level. It really only allows it to fluctuate a couple pounds. So think about, again, cold and then move into hot days where we can see that air-filled tires have big fluctuations in PSI levels. We're not getting that here. Now, if we do have a slow leak, a lot of tire you know, places right now will actually be able to go in and put nitrogen back to them. So I would recommend going ahead and getting whatever you need to fixed, but then going ahead and put nitrogen back so you get those benefits themselves. You have two 7,000-pound rubber torsion Dexter axles, electric brakes on this one. But boy, having that type of warranty on your tires is definitely a nice feature to have there. Now this door, you're gonna notice it's a wraparound. We did the wraparound hinges on this one. Again, that was based on us going to some shows, seeing people parked in barns, you know, not having these doors 90 degree off, kind of butterflied off these trailers to where, you know, they're parking them really close. So to be able to wrap them around, get them on the side of the trailer so you can move projects between two trailers is definitely a nice feature. So we like to do that on all of our Showstars. If you want the other style, that can be done as well. But for inventory, we're gonna go ahead and order them that way. 50/50 rear ramps on this one. We have 50/50 rear doors. They're independent, so you have that flexibility on the ramps as well. The other thing too is, even on the full width ramps, Cimarron does such a good job on their springs. You know, these are really actually pretty easy to open and close. But again, if you're running with younger juniors showing, having a little bit smaller ramp for them to open and close is definitely a nice feature there. A couple other things we did at the back. Backup lights, we're doing that on a lot of our trailers for inventory. Our backup lights on this truck are a long ways from the back of this trailer. you will be getting home, getting to different places in the dark. It's nice to have it. It's a very small upgrade, and we feel like it is definitely worth the money by having that. Two 16-inch awning lights at the back, shooting down and out, giving you plenty of light coverage. You're also going to notice the head pads. You know, it is a lower profile trailer, so by having the head pads, you know, you're not going to hit your head going in and out of this trailer, so that is definitely a nice feature there. Then we're going to get into the stall area, and we got a lot going on in here too. So these are adjustable pins. So these are 50-50 to 60-40. Right now it's set up 60-40. So on our right hand side, right now we have an alleyway. But if you wanted to convert pins over, make them a little bit wider, it's very, very easy to do. This is a great system that Cimarron's come up with. You literally just get the center gate loose, pull it out, it goes into a rubber plunger, and that's it. So now we've converted this pin right here from that 60-40 with an alleyway to a 50-50 setup here. So again, extremely easy, can be done with one hand. Swing it over and then lock it into place. We did 2 feeder rods per side on these center gates. That way, with younger projects, as they get bigger too, we can move those up if we need to. We did that on each side of that center gate. The other cool thing about these systems that Cimarron's done is I can remove sections of this if I wanted to. If I needed a bigger pin, bigger area, you just literally get the gates broke loose, and then you can take these posts directly out. So really easy to do there. Other things we've done in here. So you're going to notice this rail on this driver's side here. This rail is the track that we use on our traveling gates on the cattle trailers. But we incorporated over here because there at the back you're going to notice these 2 brackets that run inside it. So we can hook like a 12-inch barn fan works best because 24s just hang down way too low, so a 12-inch works extremely well. But now we can slide these where we want, lock them into place. Now we have fans to move some air as well, because in this top rail we put a couple outlets for you. We did 3. We did 1 towards the back, 1 in the middle, and 1 up towards the front as well. So we can move them, lock them into place. Some people get some little portable heaters as well to hang off of those. Completely up to you. They're aftermarket. We'd have to buy them just like you would, so we can kind of just point you in the right direction and you can get those type of items there. LED lights in here, the big OptiBrite put off a ton of lighting. This will now become standard on their models moving forward. We've been doing it for years on our trailers. We just feel like it's, again, like that backup light. It's a little bit more money, but boy, it's sure nice to have plenty of light coverage and get the benefits from that. And you actually have some over on passenger side as well, so get a lot of light coverage throughout this trailer itself on both sides. At that front ramp, you're going to notice a couple things. We have head padding there as well, but we've got a secondary set of light switches up there. So if you come into the side ramp, you can actually turn on these interior lights and then the load lights over there on the passenger side of the trailer itself. 2-way roof vents. Again, more airflow, more just the ability to manipulate airflow, getting rid of air, a lot of different things you can do there. Now, while we're looking at that roof, you're going to have an insulated roof standard on every single Cimarron. This is a big, big benefit on owning a Cimarron itself. Compared to aluminum sheeted roofs, this roof right here will keep this stall area about 20% cooler. And if you don't believe us, come to the lot on a real hot, stuffy summer day, and we'll take you from one Cimarron that's all sealed up, and we'll take you to a competitor with aluminum sheeted roof, and you will physically tell a difference in the temperature of this stall area. So we're gonna keep, again, animals and projects more comfortable by having that type of a roof. It's also extremely strong. It's a 1/2 inch thick honeycomb design, R3 thermal value. It can take 150 pounds per square foot, so it's really strong. Takes really substantial hail as well, so we're not dinging up a roof there. Not to say that it can't do damage, but it's got to be some severe hail to do damage on these Cimarrons themselves. We also framed for an air conditioner in here as well. So we framed it in the front tack room and then one here in the stall area. So if you ever wanted to, again, add an air conditioner, you're set up and ready for it. Just run the power to it, cut the hole, install it, you're done. Now, this isn't as big of a deal on these small animal trailers, but again, kind of like the roof we were talking about, every Cimarron's built with that roof and this floor. So this floor is the best on the market. It is a 12-inch extruded deck piece that locks in high and low, so it's tongue and groove, so you get that added strength there. But 4-inch centers. So now we always talk about this on the horse trailer side, cattle side, but imagine hoof size of a steer or a horse. Wherever they're standing on a Cimarron floor, they're standing on a support beam. A lot of competitors will spread their centers out. That's where you get those pits and waves over time. Not on these trailers here. I mean, these are extremely stout. They're built to withstand a lot of weight and a lot of strength. As they start getting pieced together is where they even gain more and more strength. Now, on these pin system trailers, you're going to notice no rubber mats. We don't want that, especially for hogs. They'll root them all up. Don't want to get into that scenario there. So you either bed really deep here, or you go with the worm flooring, some type of a permanent flooring. We're a big fan of worm, you know, especially as we get around where these posts are. They can trowel it around those, flush it up against these plastic bumpers here that that hardware sits into. But then it will actually work as a insulation on the floor as well for your animals if you go that route. Now we can do that after the fact. We don't do it here at Transwest, but we're set up with a local dealer of worm here in Denver that can do it. A lot of other trailers, some of our inventory trailers, like our air ride trailer that's coming here in a few weeks, we're actually going to do worm on that. We're set up with worm down in Oklahoma City, so that one will actually go to them and have that done there. But again, there's some of those type of items that we can do after the fact on these trailers to make it exactly what you want. Good look at that wraparound door right here on the driver's side, the drop windows, the fold down slats. Look at the top rail. You're going to notice the button lights, marker lights. That became standard a couple years ago. Again, cleaner, sleeker look, kind of like that wraparound nose. Puts out a lot of light, not a big power draw. It looks really good lit up at night. Some guys will go in and put them every foot. I mean, if we're building a trailer, we've done some that look like true chicken haulers. Top rail, bottom rail, we can do it all if you want to go that type of a route. Then there's that escape door going in that front tack room. Again, having that gate there is really nice. So we don't have to worry about opening that window, dropping that ramp, and you know, worrying about a hog trying to jump in your lap. That's going to secure them in there. But again, more importantly, again, when you're showing off this trailer, again, getting that airflow through there. But again, securing those animals. But it's nice to have multiple access points into these trailers from all sides. So driver side, passenger, rear, obviously. Now, it's got the step on it as well. We just try to put them on all these entry doors, especially on these 8-wide trailers. You know, you have no running board. So it's really nice to be able to make that transition a little bit easier. I'm gonna shut these windows up for you, and I'm gonna flip these guys up. So again, you can see how easy they are. Open and close. But then you get a good look there at that polished extrusion. Again, that's standard on the LXs. So you get it on the top rail, you get it on the bottom rail, and then you're gonna get all that extrusion. So it is a sharp looking trailer. And then when you cap it again with the black and the polished extrusion with those silver and black wheels on it, it is a good looking trailer, but extremely functional for you as well. So I'm going to give you the stock number on this trailer. That way you've got a reference if you want to call in about it. Again, it's a 2023 Cimarron Showstar LX 10-pin, 5N221902. We do take trade-ins, whether you're looking to downsize, upgrade into something like this. Financing's available and delivery is available as well. So this trailer, we can talk about what it would be to get it right to your doorstep. So give us a call. Anybody on our sales team can help you out. That number is 684-3400. We appreciate you tuning in, and have a good day.